Squish band looking real nice. And as you can see, we're down to our thinnest solder. I have checked this already. And we have 19 thousandths, which is perfect. Alrighty guys, we have our squish dialed in. What did that do to our port timing? Well, it moved everything 2.5, 3 degrees, which is what I was shooting for. I have to touch the intake very, very, very little to get the desired timing that I want on it. It's really close as is. So what we've got now, I've got the ring inserted in the cylinder, and I'll drop a screw in it just to make sure we've got proper alignment. It does matter. As you can see, we have 0 cylinder rock, which means our machine work is spot on. Okay, so now I'm going to get down here and back this degree finder up to where I want the exhaust port to land. Right now it's open pretty late. It would be a torque monster if I were to leave it alone. I'm half tempted to clean it up, widen it, polish it, and send it. Let's start about right there, which is where it was at stock, and see what we need to do there. We got that set about back where it was at stock. If we move it back to there, see, they're cleaned up and they're polished. It'll set the port about exactly where I want it. And as you can see, the very center of the port's not going to move very far at all. Mainly once we knock the plating back, like a good clean up and a polish on it, it's not going to take much to hit that where I want it to be. What I'll do is I'll take a good marker, draw a line, and we'll grind up to that line and then do our cleanup work. we're at on that after the cleanup. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'll move the camera and clean it up a little more, but it's mainly to give you an idea of what to do and what's going on. We raised it what little I wanted to raise. We widened it what little I wanted to widen. Now we're ready for our clean up and or polish, which I guess that cleaned it up and opened it up, but it is what it is. Guys, I'm porting this through my camera monitor. We can go up closer, I think. That's about a 220 grit roll. It'll leave a finish that's good enough. Guys, that ain't looking half bad. I'll probably call that close enough on this one. Okay guys, the exhaust port opening just a little bit earlier than it was stopped, about what I was going for. We had 105 with the base gasket pulled. We got 104.8 right now. That's about where I wanted this. By now, if you followed me for a while, you'll know that I'm not someone that likes to run a really high exhaust roof. You can get RPM out of the saw in other ways than jacking up the exhaust roof. I did do a little more work off camera. Not a lot, but I think that'll work. You guys, so when I had that cylinder back off, I did work the center of that exhaust port a little more. I was going for just a little bit. Let's see what we ended up with now. .2. Okay, that's about where I was shooting for. That's close enough. I was shooting for a 104 roof, 104.2. We ain't gonna argue with that. And that's the very center of the port. I left factory shape on it. It does open, you know, degree or so later as the piston lowers, if it makes sense. It's got more of an oval shape to it than a square. And our intake looking like very dead center of it. 77 even, so that's 154 on the total duration. That'll be just fine. What I'm going to do is pull a cylinder, put a ring in, draw a line at 120 and see how far that has it moving the transfers. The cool part about this cylinder is being like, once I knock the chrome plating back, it seems to be getting the timing really close to where I need it to be. As you can see, we're going to have to lower that a little more than that plating, but not a whole heck of a lot at all. Oh yeah, you already flow pretty good. Guys, I use that sparingly now. I used to use it a lot in the beginning. We're really aggressive cutters, but doing the transfers the way I do them seems to work. And this tool's over $600 to buy it, so you can take that into consideration as well. Two more things to the cylinder. We're not doing a thing that lowers you're A-OK. There's no rough casting imperfections, no bad plating overhang. They look really good, got a nice texture, good size. No need for anything. We're going to take this old cartridge roll and go around the edges of our ports, and then I'll hit on actually a piece of 400 grit paper by hand. Really go over everything, make sure we don't have any burrs or anything we might have missed. And when you finish that exhaust port with a flat wheel or cartridge roll slotted mandrel, it does a good job of doing that anyway. Of course I'll do more, but a lot of this is just giving you a ballpark idea of what is going on. Guys, take your time on these last steps. If you have a burr in the port, go back. The diamond abrasive or cartridge roll, get it out of there. You don't want one little burr to hang the ring and ruin the whole build. It can happen. We wouldn't mention if it couldn't happen. I don't know how many saws I've done. I lost count a long time ago. Really never counted, to be honest with you. Rings do drop down into the intake port on this, or the lower ring anyway. I think I'll run both rings. This cylinder did have some places in it where the piston was seized and stuck in it. And the only other thing I might do before I go wash it and give you guys a final look, I may see if I can find my ball hone and run through it and see if we can bring the crosshatch back to it. But if not, I'll just take some sandpaper and go over it everywhere. Give those rings something to fall into. Quick look at the finished port work. Not too shabby. Maybe we can get some light on the uppers. We got some light on the plating, that's for sure. There we go. They turned out pretty good. I'll spend a little bit of time on them, I always do. Really easy to make an ugly upper transfer. Because it's ugly doesn't mean it won't work, and because it's pretty doesn't mean it will work. I've seen some guys in the past, and I've done it myself. I ain't saying I'm not guilty, but show what I would call a complete work of art or a masterpiece, and well, it kind of not performed very well. I think most people have done that, but done a few saws. But if you look at the machine work, it's looking pretty good. It's looking better than the rest of the saw. Anyway, alrighty guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Final numbers: 19th squish. Now that'll probably be 2021 after we glue it. 104 exactly on the exhaust port, and again, I've done more of a factory shape on that, more of an oval shape. The center of it opens sooner than the rest of it. 122 on the uppers. That's about right where I'd put my ring anyway. And 77 on the intake. That's 18 degrees below down. I'd already done a ignition timing advance when I put that flywheel on it when I assembled the bottom end, so she should cook pretty good. She probably ain't gonna be no 15,000 RPM screamer, but she'll cook. She'll pull a 24 just fine. Be a good, really, really lightweight saw. I don't know when it'll be when we get this thing out and actually get it running again. I'm not 100% sure I have everything here to finish it, but in the next couple of afternoons I'm going to put what parts I do have at it and get it as close as I can. Still up in there on painting it. I don't know. Got to have something or it's going to start getting mag rot in the oil tank, so got to do something. I may just spot prime it with some self-etching primer. Shoot it with the I think it's a light Ford gray that I use on that. You can get it at Tractor Supply that kind of matches that. And then I've got two different whites. I've got an appliance epoxy, and then I've got a single stage acrylic enamel I could spray on it, which that's a pain in the ass. Don't really want to do that. Then again, we might, and just throw the orange plastic on it. We'll just have to see, but got to do something or we'll end up, like I said, with some mag rot eventually. So it would stay that way for a long time, but sitting over there in the other shop, you know, it would eventually go to not really rusting, but rotting them. So got to get something done. It is what it is. But anyway, guys, I'll throw a video together. Y'all have a good one.